It happens everywhere. I mean, Design Week happens in these places, you know, like at the same time, and it's changed. You know, this topography keeps on changing. It's also that I really do not believe in models, but in methodologies. So the methodology we have chosen is that of like keep on looking and keep on searching for where, you know, like the pace of the city is really beating, and so where you really can go to capture, you know, like new energies, sort of like new synergies that can be created to bring some benefit to it. And this city is as big as Beijing, you know, like they're anywhere and everywhere at any time, you know, somehow subjugated, you know, like to the constant, you know, pace of change and, you know, like and transformation. So there will be always territory, you know, like ideally for us to be into. I think it's the difference is that what we're trying to do is to run through our editions a certain type of focused strands of research or a typology of operation that people can sort of like build an attachment, a commitment, or a sense of engagement with. Because if the event just remains some sort of, you know, like an open window, then there's many. And I don't even think that for the sake of finished products, you know, like probably this is the best, you know, like way, you know, place to do it. But also because there is a very big, discerning, fragmented public to speak to. So it's a deceiving game. That's a real effort designed for this context. There is, of course, a momentum, you know, that design is living in China, and rightfully, quite rightfully, you know, there is a business that comes attached to it. And if you put a bunch of products within an enclosed, you know, environment and sort of like perched by booths, you know, like, and you expect Chinese people to walk in and have all of the reference, you know, the reading keys and the references to understand why you're calling that design and what kind of category that belongs to, you're doomed to fail. And you're doomed to fail because the way they will consume that space is as if they were in a mall. So I am a strong opponent of the idea of design fairs, you know, like in this context. We have chosen to work with the professionals, the sort of like different generations of professionals that are more and more interested in engaging, you know, like with new challenges for their own practices, and especially in big cities like this. And we've chosen to work a lot also within the educational system. So in bringing, you know, like working with schools, with universities, which very often here are actually, you know, cradles, you know, like and incubators for really the most sort of like cutting edge course of like actions and thinking, you know. So because the city is fundamentally forcing you somewhere else. So what we are doing is also trying to bring out these forces, you know, and this energy and re-emit them, you know, like wherever there might be needed, you know, within the city. And again, it's not such a straightforward conversation, and it doesn't work all the time. But I think that essentially what we have tried to do is to change a little bit like the syntax of how they speak, you know, caravanserai type of events, you know, like are generally understood to be. So it's really sort of like to give an opportunity to people, you know, like to act on the real context of the city and to make their work matter for the future of its, you know, of the city, for the living standards that its inhabitants, you know, like expect to, you know, like to live in, and to be at different levels, you know, like of conceptualization or realization, propositive of new ideas.